Be what you can be.
Be what you can be.
Learn what you must learn.
Learn what you must learn.
If students do not receive rigorous, high-level instruction, then we're doing them a disservice.
In order for children to get it, in order for teachers to get it, we have to be very intentional in everything that we do. It's all about how impactful or how effective was I as a leader.
Our instructional priorities were determined for the school year based on data. We were able to look at where our deficits were from doing classroom observations, from looking at 10-ready data, from looking at interim assessment data, and determine where we needed to focus for this year. For reading language arts, we really wanted teachers to be able to start with a text, to plan those text-dependent questions. In mathematics, our instructional priorities were centered around mostly making sure that teachers, their instruction is in the correct aspect of rigor.
If we do not set those goals and those priorities, then we do not have a way of gauging student success.
It's not just a document that's on a shelf, but it's actually a living document that we actually utilize.
They set the goal, they set the pace, they set the expectations for how learning and how teaching and instruction will go forth in the classrooms.
I think it is important for the school leader to talk to my teacher, to tell her what we need to be learning in the classroom so she can teach us what we need to know.
And the instructional priorities really are the fuel, I'll say, behind everything that drives what we're doing. One of the things I've done to build my own capacity would be looking at best practices for internalizing both the standards and curricula. I do something called a week at a glance. It's almost like the teacher's lesson plan. And within that, I can put in my professional development time, my planning time, prep time. So all of that is actually carved out, so I don't just do it haphazardly. And I think that has helped a lot with me making sure that I have time to internalize myself so that I can help to develop teachers.
When they're constantly learning, when they are lifelong learners and readers, they build this body of knowledge that they can then pass to us that ultimately benefit our school and our scholars.
I can trust them to know exactly what they're giving me is going to be the right thing to help me grow.
It makes me want to learn more and do more when I see them learning more and doing more.
Coming into it, I was trying to do everything myself. I'm Wonder Woman. I have on that cape. I got to do it. I have to do it. And over time, as I began to identify the talents of my staff, I began to see the benefits of that distributive leadership piece. Before I was introduced to ANET, that was just not my style. Because again, as a new principal, you're wanting to make sure that everything runs smooth. You're wanting to put out fires here and there. And once I released that, I just saw a difference in everything. Me personally, I saw a difference in our achievement. I saw a difference in my student and teacher morale.
We've built trust and really have come together and learned how to start using each other's differences and strengths to strengthen the school community as a whole.
I believe strong leaders beget strong leaders beget strong leaders. And at the end of the day, what we want are strong leaders in our classrooms.
I believe they help me to strive to do better as a student and as a leader.
We created frameworks around everything that we did. So we normed some of our practices. That was a huge piece. We had to norm and put those systems in place.
The consistent structures that we have in place are structures for weekly professional learning community meetings with teachers. Those are mostly vertical, although there are times when they're horizontal. Also, the weekly Monday professional development, which is after school. Each month, we do have data meetings to discuss whether or not children are growing.
Even when we're planning a lesson, when we look at the data and we say 70% of these kids did not get this lesson based on this exit ticket. That's an opportunity for their teacher to make a timely adjustment before they either go into the next class or the next day. We're not waiting until the end of the week.
Walkthroughs with the IPGs.
We're providing feedback to them. We tell them it's not a got you. It's how can we serve you? How can we be of help to you? How do we get better faster? When you're having conversations with teachers and you're sitting down side by side and you're able to go through and navigate through and identify those strengths and weaknesses, it builds that trust overall.
When I feel that someone cares enough about me, willing to go out their way to give me the tools and resources that I need to provide a better education for my students. I feel that, hey, we need it.
Them working with me and giving me the opportunity to see text and giving me a chance to experience what they expected from me was the greatest benefit to me.
And so when they plan professional developments or PLCs, or they are lobbying for tools for us like the ANET platform, then it gives us practices and best practices and tools and instructions to go to take in those classrooms and give our scholars what they need.
It's important for my teachers to plan with my leaders is so they can get probably different perspectives of each other.
From the beginning of the school year to now, we have seen a huge shift in practice.
We have high student achievement and high classroom engagement, and we have double-digit gains. We get these things because of the work that they put in on the front end.
And the passion and love that they have for us as teachers just kind of trickles down in the culture of the school. And I think that is very important. When we see them work, it makes me want to work. You know, I see her drive, it makes me want to drive. And the same things that she does for me to encourage me as a teacher and make me a better teacher is the same tools I try to use into the classroom with my students.
We're learning what they're doing to help us so that we can help people when we grow up.